working. Hi everybody. Alright. It gave me the error message there. Paused a couple times, so I didn't know if this was going to work. So, how's everybody doing? Michael Rolla, welcome to my channel, Michael Rolla channel. This is my channel, and I'm a channel, divine channel, what I like to call, and I'm gonna consider just calling myself as something. Oh no, I don't know if I want to call it that yet. So we'll give it a minute or two. So hi, how's everybody doing? We got Archimedes with us today, and he wants to talk about the idea of your consciousness being your dimension that you live at. So I think this is a really good topic and really important for all of us, because that's the big realization. That's where all our epiphanies come from. That's where all of our, all of the realization happens is in realizing that you are the being that is beyond yourself. And so it's like layers and layers and layers. And so I was typing some things about it. Let me see. And I wanted to share with all of us. And maybe give it a minute. We'll see if anybody is around today. What is that option that I just pulled down? Please go away. It's not going to go away. Oh, it did. Yes. Okay, cool. Can't see anything. So Archimedes, I'm going to say your name wrong, this whole entire life. So, Archimedes. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm going to do much fun with that one. I wasn't giving time for, we'll see what's around Sunday. I didn't feel Sunday. We're getting out of the retrograde. I think it's finally over. So, yay for a new week. Yay for new energy. Hopefully everybody feels good. And yeah, so, but anyways, your consciousness being, here, let's read. So, I titled this one 5D Relationships. In the beginning, because I wanted to talk about how it's when you're communicating with people and you're in public or whatever, and you can engage with them, but you don't have to be victim to the feelings. So then you get into the yin and the yang and the polarized. Hey Nicole, hey Sarah, how y'all doing? Thanks for coming. I didn't want to get started. I was kind of, wasting time there in the beginning, but 5D relationships, and not just 5D, but all the dimensions, and then it goes into more. You realizing that you are that conscious being that's going up and down all the time. And what does that mean, and how does it mean? When you eat food that bogs you down, period, doesn't matter. Call it what you want. Call it meat. Call it not meat, you know what I mean? Call it this, call it that, it doesn't matter, it's if you're eating it, and think of it that way. It's I'm always talking about stepping back, bigger picture, source, 0 point. If you think about what we eat, I think they said that, and I heard that in an article or video once where, the spirit or the galactic beings, they said, the things we eat are so nasty, to them. If we really knew what we, how processed it was, we eating cardboard, they're just ugh, why would you, but, when you step all the way back, it's you realize, what am I doing? I'm ingesting food. We call it eating. It's normal. Oh yeah, we do it all the time. No, that's not normal. That food eating, you know what I mean? Look, what are we doing? We're putting into our bodies, you know what I'm saying? And all based on that tongue. It's all based on that tongue right there. Maybe not all of it, but all right here. All of food exists right here in the mouth, and the rest, it's gone. We don't even think about it. It's gone, right? And then that's what happens. It doesn't digest. We don't take care of it. You know, we gotta. So it's really it's breaking down all of the illusions. And again, it's not a big, or again, it's not like it's a big deal, like illusions and whatever, which it can be when certain realizations come to you. They're big deals, but the idea of an illusion or a label, it's just what we're referencing to things, and then it's natural to learn about life, and then things, you can group things and you do things like but really understanding that every moment is up to like your conscious level that you're vibrating at is going to determine what you experience. I mean, that's what it all is, right? That's why you create your own life, and you ensure there are plenty of things that are happening because they're happening here on this plane and on this and on that. But until you all understand your purpose and really focus and get into you being here, there really isn't going to be so much other stuff that you need to know, right? So there's so many distractions out there already that it's almost just like, instead of trying to get everything down and predict the future, and everyone, we're all trying to be psychic and all this and all that, but, the first level is you and the level of your consciousness reaching a point, or the first level, you know what I mean, where you finally understand yourself fully, where you know what dimension you're in, where you know how you're feeling. I mean, it starts there. I mean, and that's such a big thing. A lot of people don't know how they're feeling. There's some days some moments of the day, how you feeling? And you're just like, I don't know really right now because there's so much going on or something, I haven't really sat down, or, there could be anything, or even people, you know how you feel. Okay, how deeply, on what layer? Do you understand that the comfort or the discomfort that you feel, is really part of you that's wanting, that just wants to feel comfort. So now are you stuck in the discomfort? Are you calming? Are you going in and like going to the beginning again? Where did it start? Where did it come from? Because the practices are very easy. The practices are very simple. But until you guys can master them for yourselves, mastering them for the rest of the world, no one that is not fully, integrated within and of themselves should be necessarily worried about, like, galactically saving the planet, if you will, which, of course is something that, is engaged by the spirit, and, it's not like you aren't all participating, right, or whatever, in our own ways. But, what's up, Bravery? It is good now. It is good now. We're out of that retrograde, right? So the fresh air should be coming in, right? Fresh air, that's what we need. It's nice out. It's nice over here. Hopefully it's nice by all you guys. I was watching Chico. Shout out to Chico. He was talking about, he popped a video where he was talking about, just how it was snowing, and now it was real nice by him. He's going for a walk. And he's like, if this is climate change, then, all right, I'm good with it, So, and I think that was, was really important because, it is what it is, right? I mean, it is. It always is. And that's such a big part of life. That's such a big part, because if you can't accept what it is, then you're not going to understand why you're there, why it's happening. If everything is if everything you're trying to change it, you're trying to bring it, to your dimension will find out what dimension is first. Find out what, there's a lot of this stuff to learn, and there really isn't, the education out there. It's, the information's out there, and we're all getting it all together, the whole community all over the world, whatever, places, people, we're all coming out and talking about this stuff, and it's all going to make sense. It's all going to come together eventually. But, your the dimension that you're on of consciousness, it's like, people, well, I'm a 20-dimensional being. It's like, yes, you are. You probably are. You know what I mean? But right now, you're in your body. So let's go get some lunch. And then, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what we all gotta do, right? Like, they say enlightenment, okay? Before enlightenment, chop wood, gather water. After enlightenment, chop wood, gather water. You still gotta, if you got a body, which you gave yourself, you gotta take care of it, right? And so the dimension that you're on that's a relative term. That's subjective. That you're on, which part of me, and it's like, well, it's all of you, right? Okay, so that's that realization. So again, where you at? Are you addressing life from victim or narcissist? Either one. It's ego or it's lack of ego. It's yin or it's yang. It's over developed or it's over energetic, chakra or underdeveloped chakra, or um, balance, right? Balance is when you have mastery of them, right? Like, that's why they say meditate, meditate, meditate. But the kundalini goes up, and you're up in space. You're like, and that's great because that's part of it. We have to learn to detach from the 3D. That's that part of it. But to neglect this is wrong. You know what I mean? To not, that's like with the meditation, you go up, and then I always talk about the microcosmic orbit. You come down. You want to go up the spine. You want to come down the front. You got to keep and you can do infinity. You can like come up, cross, middle of the body, go down, come up, cross. You can do all kinds of stuff because it's your energy. It's your chi. We all have to learn how to empower ourselves to remember who we are and what we can do. That's why they say it was like Atlantis, and it was Atlantis, where the crystals, where the energy, where they didn't support the crystals, and it all, and they were saying it was because you stopped supporting it, because energetically they stopped listening, they stopped doing, the alignment and this and that, and for the machinations of things, but, okay. Okay, that ended. Yeah, and I wanted to say that too. Shout out to anyone who was watching the 5 phases. I realized that the 5 phases is sort of a deeply healing modality, and I shouldn't just be, I don't want to just start doing that, like with all these people. Or whatever, and like I'm gonna literally like open up a clinic for free online. Like I'm not gonna do it. So I think maybe I'll do a little something more special for unlisted or something like that. Because that's a little more. Yeah, but you guys got all you need to know. Ask me for a question. Meditation helps me stay balanced and focused. Yes, good, Nicole. And it's important. The reason and the importance of the quiet and the 0 point and the silence and sitting stillness. It's just because we're constantly going on and on and on and on and on. So people, I can't focus, or I can't do this again. Well, that's okay. Just keep trying. Don't again. We always think in labels and like in black and white because we want to understand like what's meditation. So that I can understand what meditation is. And then once I understand what meditation is, everything in my life's going to be perfect. I mean, it's like we're trying too hard to understand everything as if it's going to be, whatever. Or like relationships, right? That's what I don't know what I'm talking about. Like 3D codependency, or whatever, that ends up coming out. Or it's like we're trying too hard to figure out everything in life, and it's good to do that. It's good to have an inquisitive mind and to learn. But when the connection is that we lose is when we forget what's important. And again, that's not the cliches, but it's a lot of them too. But it's the fact that like we don't need all this stuff that we are so caught up in. And I'm gonna read this and we'll explain some more. Your sacral chakra is you gotta get into your creations physically in your life. if you have an underdeveloped or an under, like not enough energy in it because it's being drained too much, which can happen like in relationships and stuff too, like intimacy, like depending on what chakras are open in certain people and not in other people. If someone has like a really bad sense of self, their solar plexus, which is your sense of self, your physical presence, like they're gonna either drain yours, or they're gonna, have overabundance. They're gonna overpower it. So there could be all kinds of stuff. But if you want to balance, a balanced sacral chakra is basically, you're gonna experience joy of sensations because it's your sacral. That's your sexual center, right? So the root is like the core survival in like instinctual stuff. So once that feels good, like you got, like your job down or whatever, you got things figured out and you're comfortable, then it gets into, okay, so now what can I do to play, right? So then we start to think of all the creative things. So it means that either if you have overabundance, like you wanna, and either way, you're gonna feel it, and you're gonna either wanna increase the energy that you need there because you're gonna want more, or you're gonna have too much, like, and that's that high testosterone guys, who are taking creatine and whatever, those it's like, and then they just go, sexy time it out, and then they drain their body, and then so they're not using it correctly. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what happens with every boy growing up. You know what I mean? It's like you're draining you shouldn't be. There's a lot of things that go into that. Yeah. Yep. So what you should do, right? So then what you need to do is get into physical heat and start working out, stuff like that. You want to do the create, because I don't want to suggest creativity. It depends. Everybody's got different kinds of creativity, but what you have to do is you have to build up the chi in it to bring more, right? So yeah, no, I've been there. I know the feeling. So when it's just you as a guy, we got to keep that flow going. But I was just saying this to someone, but the secret for males, right, is that every man who ever did something huge, important, like all the kings, the emperors, they always talk about, they would always like take ginseng, right? And I know like the Mayans, they would do like black licorice root or black something with like or with ginseng or something. So that and it's for the creativity, and it's for our purpose, right? And this is the same with women. Like women, it's our creative power to create that which whatever we want to create with. So when we start letting go, when we feel too victim, when we feel too life is just happening to me, right? That's when you get the under, because now life is draining you out of it. Otherwise you say, I have all this stuff going on, I have too much, I gotta let it out, right? And then you're just, dumping it, and then it's not getting recycled. So it's gonna depend on how, but see, when you do it, you'll be less tired, right? That's the trick. That's always the trick, is that and especially in the beginning in that case, because you gotta get over the hump. It's just a hump. Because it's like chi. This is all chi. It's yang, yin or yang. Okay, so it's like doing tai chi. So you do the slow, tai chi. It's great. And this is great because it's good for Western society, because we're constantly boom, 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 we're fire. We're like, angry, and we're all this, emotions are so emotional. So slow is good for our balance, right? But if you are like many empaths, starseeds, all of us, this community who we are very, sensitive and things like this, and we can get drained easily just by seeing a commercial and getting mad, or something in the world, it'll drain us. So we need to restore it, and that means we got to get aggressive, right? What does every yin person need? Well, they need a little more assertiveness. What does every yang person need? Well, they need a little more temper, a little more, and that's why I like temper, because it's not just stopping, it's, calming down. So you want to engage in some heavy stuff, hardcore. Like when I listen to, metal or something, I'll throw on metal, or I'll throw on, like something like super gangsta, or whatever, depending on my mood. But and that you feel it. Music, any of us, you feel it when you need it. When you're feeling like, oh, you can't figure it out. There's too much. It's like, and then you're like, where's my song right now? I need my song, and then you hear it and it fills you back up, right? Or you're furious, or I'm furious, and then I got to put on some heavy metal or something, and then it brings me down, because I hear them talking about it, or, yelling, and they're getting aggressive, and the music calms me down, soothes even the savage beast, right? Yeah, music, right? Like, and the relationship to everything you do, the relationship to the way you think about your life. When you wake up, are you thinking yin, or are you thinking yang? Are you thinking, I'm going to topple over this world today, and they better run, Imagine someone who's like that, who's out of control. I don't know what to do. I'm so sorry, everybody, but I can't help but burn everybody down in my path, versus like, sensitive, where they're, oh no, I don't want to hurt anybody, today, or, please let me have a good day. Whereas in this other one's like, I hope everybody else has a good day, because like, I'm gonna, it's like, we can literally pick, I put on my, on my Facebook, I shared my natal chart, because it was like, I wanted to talk about it too, and, recognizing how, that's why we have a personality. So the personality is everything that we need to learn to understand the relationship with how we are, in order to overcome our our shortcomings, right? It's the reason we have the personalities the way that we have them, right? And it could be not just to overcome, it could just be because of the dominant trait or whatever, right? But that dominant trait is going to be useful on the yin and the yang side of that aspect of yourself, and that aspect of your life and your consciousness, right? So, understanding where you're at consciously is, like I've said before, like, it's funny, I can remember like my first videos, like, where I didn't know what the heck I'm doing online, Right? I know what I'm doing, but I don't know why I'm doing it online. It's like, oh, can't we just talk about ourselves? No, I gotta tell everybody. All right, but it's where, what is it? It's that, oh my God, I totally got too far. What was I talking about? Shit, I just lost it. Sorry, guys. I was like, what was it? Intention? No. Help me out. What was I talking about? You calling suddenly? Okay, cool. Oh, yin and yang. And like how, what was it? Hold on, let's see if Archimedes can hook me up. He's talking. The correlation between yin and yang was that of the formulae that is equivalent to yeah, and to the natal chart. Okay. Yeah, on what side? Yeah, like the consciousness, the left and the right, the yin and yang. When I was starting off, I was saying the same kind of things. That it's like, it's your, yeah. Oh, yeah. So that it's, when I was first saying it, I would say your higher self. What is your higher self? I did a video or something like that. And it's I kind of related it to the fact when you just take the higher road in a situation, when you're dealing with people, you just kind of, it's that moment when anybody, you're having a conversation, boo, boo, and then it clicks in you where you're like, I was going to respond, but I'm good. Like, I think it's better if we just let this one go. Like, I'm not going to keep adding to this, or something. That's higher, because what happened in that moment, everything. You saw it, you felt it, you intuited it, right? You knew, somehow you clicked, your connection. That's it. That's your spirit, like in that moment, saying, no, thank you for making me take a breath, calm, center, right? That's why these are always the steps of doing it. So when you get, like Nicole's talking about meditation, when you get to that, to that point, it's like meditation is just something we do all the time. And it doesn't mean that you want to use that as an excuse to say, oh yeah, I meditate, like, no, again, it's not for us to prove to other people, it really is, it's us to heal ourselves, to fix ourselves, you know what I mean? Like I say all the time, I'm sharing this, I'm not, like, all of this is from examples, direct experience, or, research, right? Again, take what resonates, right? It's not financial advice. But, we're all stepping into this, and people are going to need to know what's going on, When you see the choice to act, yes. I'm going to get my hair done. Look at this. Got a mop going. Yeah, when you see the choice to act, exactly. And that's when you act, right? When you see the choice to act, right? and that's letting life, that's living with life. That's letting life live with you. That's Chico posted that too. I shared it. Something about just letting life come to you, Like, you do you, and then everything that wants to do that too is already going to be there. That's the same as you going there, and it's the same as everyone else showing up too. It's. But let me read this, because this will get into even more. So, I'll just read how I said. So, this has been addressed before in the community, but it's important to remind yourselves that consciousness is the dimension. 5D relationships are always spoken about with an image of conscious beings who are fully aware and living their purpose and in full union and et cetera, et cetera. But in order to be that being, in order to be in those relationships, you have to be that being. You have to be doing those things too. It's not just everyone else does it around you. Like the whole, we all kind of think, oh, the whole world, this, that, once the world's fixed, everything will be good, and then I can, I'll be fine. And it's like, well, no, you have to do the work on yourself too, right? But in order to be that, you got to do those things too. It's not that just everyone else or the world around you that needs to do it. It's you too. You are in this world too, and that's the fact that if the world's doing it, well, that means I'm doing it, so I'm doing it for me. Otherwise, you guys aren't in a world where it's being done. So you got to do it. So I'm in that world. That's the thing about freedom. You gotta, if you truly believe in freedom, then that means you have to allow someone else their freedom. But to live in a world together, in a free world, right? You have to be it too. Conscious relationships of all dimensions are done with full individual sovereignty of mutual love and respect for one another. Because you find, of all relationships, right? Because you find your best reflection in one another, or your complements, or for a ray that you guys represent, or the twin flame idea, the yin and the yang, the coming together, right? But when it's together, it's a natural process, and I think I started saying that. I forget what we said. It truly is a beautiful thing, but also very natural in its form and formation. It's the natural process of anything that comes into oneness with itself. This is why we constantly say that it should be easy. All relationships of all kinds with all things. If it isn't, then why would you even want to force it? It's not even in alignment with you. It's because of an obsession or addiction, mental, psychosomatic, even as etheric, auric. I was thinking mental or physical, non-physical. Essentially, essentially, y'all want too much shit, and y'all ain't happy with what you got. Y'all want to have everything and go everywhere and make out with whoever you want to relationship just because you want them or this or as a kid, right? You want this toy or not even as a kid, right? That's why I took that out. Or you want this toy or you want that toy, and all of it because if you don't, you'll never be happy again, right? This is nothing more than unhealed programming. Simple. Don't get it twisted. Don't grow up, try to get smart, and get it twisted. I don't even want to say child, right? I mentioned why I didn't say child, because it's so silly to even say children always want this or that. Well, yeah, so do you do as an adult. You just know you got to pay the bills, so you know what you can say no to with the child. And then even then, you haven't seen everything yet, and you're probably going to want it when you see it. Plus, we only start off as kids, so who else is supposed to want it? Who are we gonna be before we started to want things? Like we were kids, right? But we must open our minds and see past our linear actions, go beyond the cause and effect of that realization that it's still just simply unhealed programming, right? And go beyond it to where it truly began, and you'll see it all started with just one simple spark of an idea. And usually it's just, I want this, I want that. That's it. When you can reach this point, then you'll be able to travel slowly through your timelines and relive them and heal them. And then we started getting, and that's your perception in this life. And then it kind of ended, and I really wish I would have had it said a lot more there. That's going to be the novel I write one day when it just starts dumping out. And that is the that is the dimension that you're in, right? So, I like that about freedom to others too. Yeah, it is, because it's not, that's paying it forward. If you pay it forward, that's why we have to pay it forward. And you gotta do everything in the world, but if we want to, when you're sick, who's gonna take care of you? Like if you're all by yourself and you get sick, who's gonna take care of you? Well, somebody out there, hopefully, right? They're paying it forward. You know what I mean? So what happens? So then somebody else gets sick. What are you gonna help them? It's like, I mean, yeah, if you don't get a nurse, okay, yeah, it's like, I'm just saying, it's that idea of paying it forward is in order for us to live in a world that is everything we always want it to be. Well, you got to do it too. You got to. If I'm not showing you love, then how are you gonna think that you live in a world of love, right? We have to pay it forward. That's why we're the light bearers. That's why we're the light workers, the keepers, the truthers, the seekers, all of this, right? We already know, but we have to explain it to the conscious dimensions as we go. So it's more than just what you all think in human, dimensions. This, it's you all already know. That's why we say when you stop trying to know. You know when you stop thinking. You know when you're not listening to somebody somewhere tell you the answer. It's because you already know the answer, right? Like, it's called evolution. And you guys have spent so much time de-evolving your connections and stuff like this, and moving forward still with evolution, that it's like, I was okay. I was talking about berries. I said, well, how do you? I said in my head right now. I said, how do you? Okay, so how would we know not to eat the poisonous berries? And then you said, well, because fucking generations, you're gonna know because JoJo ate the berries, and we didn't know if he should, but we wanted somebody to try it, and he got sick, so we know not to eat those berries. So now we know what they smell like. You know, they say, well, how do you smell? And then you know, because it's called evolution, bish. Right? It's called connection. It's called, you can know, you know, and you might lose a couple of y'all along the way, you know, you know, but you've come so far in the forgetting, and you've developed into the forgotten, you know. Um, you know, where you use a machine to analyze the berry if it's got a chemical that's poisonous. So then you're all relying on something else. You know, it's not organic. It's not true. It's not the truth who you are. It's all. You know, technology is great. Yes, for sure. But you don't need it. You don't need it. You want it. You want it. Period. Period. The only cases that you really need technology is like, you know, like more green earth, you know, like we need, because we already have technology that can feed the world. We already have it. We're just not feeding the world. All that BS out there. You know, help, help, help. Why don't you print some money, print money all the time? You can print money, print money so you build a factory that treats the water, so we not have a water drought. Who's got a water drought? 70%, 60, 70% water planet. We got a water drought. Ain't no water drought. Ain't no food scarcity. Ain't no nothing like this. Nope. Wrong. Wrong. My whole life in school. Wrong. Wrong, that teacher's wrong. You know, it's like, and it's not like I knew that much to really care, but you know, I just knew, man, this is all just, you know, and it's not all wrong. It's beautiful. This is why I liked science. That's why I was more into like, because it was like, you know, math, you know, like 2 plus 2 is 4. Okay, yeah, no doubt. You know, like, we ain't got to debate, you know. That's how I started. I was like, okay, I can get into this stuff. I like this. This is fun. And then of course I took like English. We read poems for critical thinking. I talked about this in a video. You know, critical thinking class in college. You know. Oh my God, Nicole, what's your question? I'm sorry. I totally did. What's your question? Oh, I didn't even see it. Holy moly, you guys. Why are there so many narcissistic people around here lately? Oh, that's because of the new energies. Holy moly. That is most definitely because of all of the influx of energies. Everything. So while there's a bunch of us that are kind of, those of us, that's what they say, those of us that are in the know, those of us that are here, that are in the community, we know. We're a little ahead of things. You know, we kind of know what's going on, and that's why they say that we have to hold the light. That's literally what we're doing, because we wake up and we still see happy days outside, right? As much as we can. Because the people who don't know, it's all coming out. It's all coming out in them right now, especially with everything, you know, it's financially, and everything is happening. Like everything, so there's really a big split and push that's coming. You know, it's already sort of happening, and so the reason the people is it's the collective energetic balance. So like he's giving me math stuff, but he's saying like the infinity symbol, okay. It's the ebbs and flow. So when you get more light, right, it pushes the darkness. But the darkness has to have the light and the dark have to be in balance. So as the split right? Again, it's just a term. As the split happens consciously with people, um, it's going to, it's like they say, the third dimensionals, if you will, they're going to go to like, another reincarnation or another, just stay on that timeline where they're still on Earth, and then they're going to go whatever direction they go. And then the other ones are going to go whatever direction they go. So since it's a split and it's of the global and it's on a really massive scale, right? It's gonna split not just within the Earth polarity, but as the Earth polarities, right? So in a big way. So the yin and yang is going to come from the yin and yang of the split is a super dense heavy Earth and a super light Earth, right? That'll be, so we're in the stages here now, sort of it's like they say, the new is coming, but the old is still sort of here. And until your consciousness, right, resonates, until you understand why you're still in between, right? Because this is what it's about. It's recognizing that you can be in any dimension you want, but you can always give it your highest love. You know what I'm saying? If you're that's what we're trying to do, holding the light, all of this. If you're connected to your highest high, your monad, whatever, to God, fuck it, go straight up all the way, and then you can ground that down all the way here. You're the greatest gift on earth. That's what Jesus did. You know what I mean? He was connected. He knew it. He could do. Oh, I'm talking about Archimedes. Archimedes. I'm going to say his wrong today. Say his name. I'm going to say his wrong today. I'm going to say his name wrong today. Archimedes. He was the mathematician. Archimedes. One of, like, I guess, I don't know if he's the greatest mathematician ever, but like one of the greatest or something. He's really polite. He's got like an old school vibe to him, where he's like I said, what did I say to him? I said, when he first came in, we were chatting, he said something, and I don't know. Oh, and I said, man, I love you. And then he was just like, oh, excuse me. Oh, okay. Like he was just like, it was almost like, but he was almost like, flabbergasted that I was so blunt and direct, and so you could tell he's from, older time, or, like it was really cool. But he smiled, like he was cool, like but it was neat to feel, like when you feel them, and you get a sense of who they are, that was really cool. It was really funny. But no, I wanted to keep going. It's that connection. And that's like that's the reality part that people are, in. That's reality, son. Wake up, smell the maple nut crunch. Is, I mean, it's what reality. What is reality? If reality to you is whatever just happens to you all the time, then that's what your reality is. And that's going to be low vibrational, I'll tell you right now. But if you are a person who there's other people out there. I mean, think of your top go-getter, There's people out there who are, no, I'm creating my reality right now. I'm doing it. Yeah, I don't care what spirit says. I don't care what humans say. Even if we're limited, yeah, whatever. I'm going to do whatever I can. It's that reality, like right now, you got a house, you got some food, you got some time, you could be the next martial arts master. Do it every day. I was watching guitar stuff because I want to remember how to play again. Like, I remember some things, I never got that far, but I want to get back into it. So I was watching a YouTube video, and I saw another one, and it was just 30 days like time lapse, like this progress of this dude, 4 hours a day, every day for 30 days. He played guitar, and I can't do that, but I mean, by the end of it, honestly, I didn't even watch it. I should probably, I wanted to watch it, but I'm assuming that he got somewhere. But it's like, like, you know what I mean? That level, that you're at, but then you have to go into yin and yang again, because now your yin is your primary reality, or your yang and you're all fire and you're all kicking ass and taking names is your primary reality. But now are you balanced within each one of them? Because in order to raise in the dimensional level, if you don't understand when to calm down, and then you don't understand when to get fired up, to get off your butt, you know what I mean? You're not going to maintain your vibration in the level that you want to have it on the vibration. Hey, Unified, how you doing? Dualities coming into dimension settings, balance, all body, mind, soul systems, identification. Yes, very good. This is very good. I know there's a sense of peace that the people seem to be coming into. So yeah, you're totally right on. I feel that too. I feel it. And yeah, we're out of the retrograde now, right? Or ends today or something like that. So we'll all be waking up tomorrow, have a nice morning, hopefully. But yeah, it's definitely, and again, so what dimension am I on, right? I'm on whichever one I choose to be on in any given moment, and that's up to me. It's up to me. And physically, manifestation is what we're all interested in. It's the one you hold predominantly at all times. So if you're too yin, you need to go run or work out, lift weights. You need or jam out to some music, or look at life in a balanced way. But what side are you on? Because that's the paradox and the infinity of it all. It's because as soon as you realize a side, now you've created a side and believed in a label, right, or whatever. You just made that real. So now what's the balance out of that you just thought was the balance for the last thing? Well, now you're into something else, right? So to stay in the true balance, it's when it's quiet. You don't have thoughts. You don't have, you don't have this. You don't have that. You don't have, but in really the flow of life. I mean, we're just living. You just do what you feel guided. You go there. You go there. But anytime you look at it in energy, if you feel you're pushing too hard, or you spent too much time, stop. If you're sitting around on the weekend, you're sitting for too long, you're getting restless, go for the walk. Just do it, because it's going to set your whole body system proper, or take a shower, 15-minute shower, 10-minute shower, like whatever. I'm saying, like, take a long bath or take a nice, whatever, something to change your energy. That's what it's all about, right? Love that, like it's such a, it's the spice of life, right? And call it the spice of, I don't know what else to call it, it's the joy of life, being able to experience the dimension, the differences. It's the whole point of having a third, fourth, fifth, sixth dimension. It's like the physical dimension. It's here because so you can experience this, so you can have these extreme emotions, right? But then come back. It's okay. Let it go. Like your kids when they throw their body and they're just and you can't even lift them. They weigh more than a human adult weighs. How do they do that? Because their whole being, right? Their whole being. And then what? An hour later they're fine. You guys are at, you got some food and they're eating food in the back. They're eating chicken nuggets in the back seat. It's like 5 minutes later, the kid's not even upset anymore. So it's just and that's why I always talk too. Like we could be having so much more fun. just laughing at ourselves, laughing at everybody else. Like, so what? You pitched a fit, whatever. Just because you're an adult now doesn't mean you're smarter now or something. Like I say, wanting stuff. Like earlier, it's just like, kids want things. No, adults want things too. That's why it's all problematic out there. We don't need half. We don't need more than half of it that's out there. I don't know if we'll need. We really don't need a whole lot, to survive. So, and I think that's what we're all coming back into. Really. I mean, we have to look at the inequality. I mean, people got what 90%, 99% of all the wealth. Really, I mean, the 1%, they have 99% of all of it. Even 90. It's still too much, for 1% of them to have 99%, 90% of all the wealth. I mean, we know, us people who don't, we know how to survive, man. We're gonna survive. I said this about minimum wage people all the time. Like, if you can survive on minimum wage, you'll always have a job. You'll never have to worry about not being able to survive. Yeah, no, you might not be able to have too many luxuries. You might have too many ramen soup nights or something, but you'll survive. I mean, it's and as long as we're here, again, it's what are we doing? Are we gonna victim, or are we gonna perpetrator? Are we gonna And just your life, look at it, and that's the dimensional thing too, and that's the internal and the external thing too. Treat yourself that way, instead of attacking, rebelling on society because it did this or did that. Why aren't you rebelling on yourself for not doing them sit-ups like you wanted to? You know what I mean? Where's all that anger and frustration, as if, oh yeah, if the world fixed itself, I wouldn't have to do sit-ups. No, you still got to do your sit-ups, because the world ain't gonna do sit-ups for you. It's like, it's all perspective, man. That's what I try to help with. It's like, there's a million of them. I mean, we could talk about them in every which way, because just pick something and then go in the opposite direction, and then see how that plays out, and then go back. I don't know. For me, it's it's what I'm good at or whatever. Does that mean I should be like a detective or something? Shouldn't I be like using this for isn't there something I can do with this? Like figuring things out. Like I could probably put the story together, like a Sherlock kind of. Dude, ain't nobody gonna be Sherlock. That he's in the movies. We can't replicate that. Sheesh. And that's what it is too. Everybody wants to be Sherlock. He's not real. Well, there's been the greatest detectives in history. Yeah, there's some that, and they did great, but it's just. And again, you should always aspire to be, if that's what you love, you should love to do that. You should aspire to be that, But then again, then what happens if you don't make the cut or something, and whatever you're trying? Well, are you gonna feel bad or not? No, you get up and you go again. You keep yourself moving forward. But if it's the whole idea. Why are we burning ourselves out? Why? Is that something you want to do to yourself? No. So why are we doing it? Because we think we have to. Because the society program constantly working. Need to work 7 days a week. Otherwise, I'm no good. I'm not. I'm not being productive or whatever. No, you're being productive by sitting down. You know what I'm saying? It's my Sunday. No. I'm always, I love it all. I like my schedule. But I feel like it's got to change. I channel a lot on Friday nights and Saturdays. I was born Saturday morning, 7:38 a.m. Central Time. So that's 5:38 here Pacific right now. So like I always notice that those are my days, of the week. You guys should check it out too. If you guys know what day you were born, notice if the night before you just like Friday nights are my nights. I'm telling you right now, Friday nights. Let's go. But it sucked because Friday was always a school and or slash work day. So always tired. Like it's like, I've been up since, no, I can't do it Friday. We do it Saturday. Something. But then Saturday's different because then it's after my birth. So then Saturday it's interesting how it all works. But yeah, I'm thinking about like finding better days to channel and stuff like that too. Or whatever. We'll see. Because I want to figure out a way to do all of this stuff that I keep wanting to do, and I gotta do it, and I am. It's all coming. But again, I gotta take a break every now and then, because then I get on that yin and yang. That's why we gotta share, guys. We gotta share what we're going through, or like how it is for us. Work all the time, and then I gotta sit down. And it's good though, because when I was younger, I was rebelling against, most of it. So, like I was a good kid, but I always rebelled, like I always had that in the back of my head, like, yeah, it's all bullshit. Yeah, homework. Yeah. When am I going to use this in life? Oh, you're going to use it? Yeah, no, I'm probably not. Thanks. Anyways, teacher. Right. Whatever you say, so I was always like that, but I would do what needed to be done because I'm not gonna, So I always kind of, in the beginning of life, like I can say, I wanted to live life. I still do, to have fun, to be, energetic and exciting, and to me that's what life is about. It wasn't about working and studying. And if it is, that's cool, but it was just one of those things like, school isn't the way Michael needs to learn, so I sort of did I'm just gonna not work a whole lot, and now I got too much to do, and I love it. I love all of it. So yeah. So Nicole, cool. So yeah, you'll notice. So see how you feel now, like a lot of energy. You feel excited, ready to, because it's coming up for you. On a Wednesday, 4/16. Yeah. So Tuesdays might be your night. Right? It seems to me like the energy comes full circle. It's like a full moon and a new moon, right? In a week, if you will. And the moon gets full. That's why we have that one day of the week when it could be really intense. Full moon is like halfway in. It's like third, fourth day. And then it comes back around. And then once it gets to my birth time again, I get more channeling, like it's only like it clears, like it's a new moon, and I guess, is that relative? I don't know, but for me, when every Friday, Saturday, I feel like refreshed again, energized again. I feel like me again. Like Friday nights, I feel like Michael, and I do audio things. I do so much that it's like I don't have the time to go through all of it and then redo it all, where it's like all of that time that I spent, I could just been doing new messages, or so it's like, it's weird. I don't even know why I'm doing it, but I type things out. I got audio. I probably have like 50 audio recordings on my phone that I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. Like, it's like one day I'm gonna just put them up on Anchor and just leave it. And then if somebody wants to read it or listen, I don't know, crazy thoughts of mine that I just have, so, but it's funny. And that's that creativity too, bravery. Like, you can underabundance, you can overabundance your yin, and you can underabundance your yang. Okay, so this is what I tried to say. I was trying to talk about how there's always a yin and yang, and then once you're there, there's another yin and yang. So you can underabundance your yin and or overabundance your yin, right? So, and I think we said that. We said this. We already said this. So like for me, making videos is yang. So my yang will build up inside of me, and what happens is my yin also builds up at the same time. So I'm getting moody because I want to say all this stuff. I have all this stuff to say. Why is I'm saying this? Blah, 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 right? Right? And then, and that's my yang. That's my like that's my victim talking. Okay, that can go that way. And then the fire in the the rage, or the fury, the anger, I want to say this, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Then I'm overabundancing, like that one too. So then if I don't make my videos for like a certain amount of time, and it's not just videos, but this is a good example, like if I don't work out, if I don't, if I don't do certain things, and again, if I don't not do something, like, or not do anything, like if I don't take a day where I'm just laying on the couch with the pillow and I'm just watching, Blown Up on Netflix, the ice sculptor, the glass sculptor thing, like if I don't just binge something, I mean, it's like I need that, and it doesn't have to be a binge, I can go outside and I can meditate and I can sit there, but then after that, for so long, it's like, then you can go inside and sit down and have some food, and you know what I mean. It's not so bad, I know it's really important with television. It's so important with television because all of it's programming. Even when I watch my favorite shows, the way that they show you the flashes, the editing, they show you frames that put in your mind. You know what I mean? The sounds, the flash, it's all programming, but you got to know it. You got to know that world that you're looking at on that screen is not the real world, right? and then you'll be okay. Who knows how we're gonna get out of this one, guys. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Hey, Nicole, when channeling, do you just call in who you want to communicate with? Yeah, but it doesn't mean that I can always talk to them, but at the same time, we can always talk to them, you know what I mean? So I know without a doubt that they're hearing me, 100% of the time. If not, if there's a blank, right? I've heard it say that, like, sometimes if the soul is busy or preoccupied or something, like, they won't hear you yet, and that's what the telepathy is, when we reach that point where you send the signal like, hey, Nicole, I want to chat, how you doing? But if you're, not taking calls, then your shields are up, so then, oh, okay, So people say, oh, telepathy, people are going to read my mind, it's like, well, no, it's still you in control of, the energy that comes in, right? So there's the opening up to the energy. And then, if they're open to you, honestly, and Archimedes, I swear to you, he came this morning, 2 hours before the live. I'm sitting there, I'm typing things up, I'm going like, I think maybe I was setting up the live for the YouTube, or not, I don't know what else is going on. Everything's always going on for Michael, and it just popped in my head out of nowhere. I've never thought about him before. We've never channeled. I rarely see videos. I think I've seen a couple on you, maybe, that people have done. But that just popped in. He just came. And then I have to say, okay, who is it, blah, 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 and learn to connect and learn to feel their energy. And the way I do it is through the dialogue. Because I'm a blabber. Like, I'm going to get to know you because we're going to talk. And you're going to put thoughts into my mind, and I'm going to listen. I'm going to sense the thoughts, how they feel, where they're coming from. You know what I mean? Like, directionally, right? Where it's entering my body, right? That's part of the teachings we teach, right? So yeah, you can always talk to any and all beings. You want to stick with the love and light beings, for sure. I generally enjoy the wisdom beings as much as we can get. I think we all need the wisdom in the world. So wisdom from, any and all sources. But, I got Archangel Michael, so I'm good. I got his insignia, I got the crest. It's burned into my energetic, so I'm protected. It's like, but I wouldn't recommend that people do it that way because there's a reason, why I dive into the deep end. I figure out how to swim. There's a reason. I was 2 years old, and in my diaper, and Ma says, "Don't jump in." I go, and poosh, and she picks me up, and I'm smiling the whole time. My face was smiling. My eyes were open when I was under. I talked about this, but it's like that's how I do it. I'm not recommending anybody else does it that way, But if you are that way, it's okay, and that because there's so much to learn, and there's so much programming in the world. And that's why I want to talk about too these misnomers. There's so many misnomers, about what's light, what's dark, what's this, what's that. We got to remember as we're coming into these ideas of the ascension. It's not new. It's not new. Like ascension, awakening, enlightenment has been here for thousands of years. We got to get past the hijacking and get past the, it's like food, and it's a big one, eating meat or eating veggies, it's eventually, we're not going to want to eat the meat, you know what I mean? Like eventually, it's what I mean when I say, and just like the theme of today, your consciousness is your dimension. If you want to, and earlier, if you want to be in a 5D relationship, you have to be it. If you want to be a 5-6D human vessel, you have to treat it as if it is one, and it doesn't mean, I don't like picking on food because depending on everybody's levels, but nothing bad ever happened from anybody who is eating high vibrational foods, who is drinking, plenty of water with some sea salt, spring water filtered, and eating like stir fries and veggies and doing protein from, protein powders, plants, pea protein. They got all that stuff out there. Everything's out there now. Beans, you get protein, nuts, proteins. There's proteins everywhere. Chia seeds, hemp seeds, you can do shakes, you can have delicious stir fry. Nobody's ever, but red meat, on the other hand, does have a little bit of a, happening to our bodies that can go wrong. But nobody ever nobody rushes to the hospital. I had too much celery, no. I had too many carrots, no. And I had too much lettuce. And it's not like you probably couldn't. Imagine if we ate nothing but dark greens and we didn't allow ourselves to digest it, and we kept packing it in, then you could probably cause a problem, because what is it, fiber, or whatever, veggies, it takes longer to digest, especially, but not even longer, it's just different. See, and that's a misnomer too. I'm glad I'm kind of talking about it. It's because your meat, the reason why meat is, okay, say bad, it's not bad, it's just meat. What it does is it takes 4 times as long to digest and to process in your body, because our human bodies are not meant to consume meat, right? Like, listen, I get it. We all love meat. Like, I understand, and it's not like we're not meant to, because we obviously can. So, that's there. But the fact is that our body has to break down the proteins in the meat and then into amino acids, and then rebuild the amino acids up as proteins that our bodies can use. Because our bodies don't use the proteins from the animals. That's not how it works. People say, oh, eat meat, protein, eat meat, protein. Yes. You will get all of your amino acids, you will get your base, you will cover all of it with some meat, because it's all in there. But in order to process it, It doesn't just go in as protein and then your body soaks it up. Your body has to break down all the meat all the way down. So all that meat that's stuck in there and it's still breaking down. That means you're eating too much meat, and it still has to break down before your body even uses all the nutrients that are in it. And then you have to make sure that your body is healthy and functioning properly so that you can build amino acids from all of the meat that you're eating. So yes, you can eat meat, but you can also get protein from other sources, and it'll tax your body 4 times less than it would if you were eating meat. So again, it's not, there's nothing wrong here nor there. That's the relationship between you and the animal. You know what I mean? Like I said, the Native Americans, they had it right. They did a prayer ceremony. They did the whole animal. Thank you for your sacrifice, for allowing me to do what I can do to make this world a better place, right? That's the ultimate sacrifice right there. We're all worried about humans. I mean, look at all the aminals, right? We know, guys. Look at all that. Look at all the chickens. They react internally off each other. The beings do. I feel like you were talking about when I was talking about how I communicate with them. React internally off each other. Yeah, it is. That's why it's fusion. That's why fusion is the reactor, because it's constantly pushing, but it's constantly absorbing at the same time. That's why fusion is like, unstable. You have to get it at the right amount of electromagnetic levels, because that's why, that's what it's doing. It's literally exploding and what is it? Imploding on itself or whatever, at the same time. And then you get a little fusion ball, a reactor. So yeah, we see a yin and yang symbol, but that could be a ball of fire. I mean, that's, what's the fire? Well, the spark, the ball of the spark of the light of whatever. I don't know. Now it's getting all weird. My favorite non-meat protein. Honestly, I just do. I do a lot of protein milks. So I get Silk. They got a almond and cashew protein. So I do a lot of proteins from that with shakes. And I do. If you want the full protein spectrum, get chlorella. And then you can add spirulina if you want, but chlorella, look it up. Chlorella is the full spectrum of amino acids. All you need is chlorella a day. That's it. That's all you need. The idea of ultimately reaching the height of non-physical beings in light bodies, we're not going to eat food at all. You know what I mean? Like, I hate to say it that way, because I know we love our food. Again, loving your food a little too much. You're addicted to your third density. You're addicted, you know what I mean, stuff like that. It is. Yeah. Chlorella is my favorite. And then I put, I get one off Amazon. It's Amazing Foods, Amazing Greens, great something. I just look for, and so it's got everything in it. I do a lot of protein shakes. Protein powders, and then I do hemp seed, chia seed, and then moringa. Look up moringa, the moringa fruit. I know there was like this village or something that they didn't have food and they didn't know how they were going to make it, but they fed the entire village with just like moringa trees or something like that. Like there's like super duper foods. Moringa's got a lot of protein and stuff like that in it too. But I recently read pea protein is kind of like or something, so but I know that that's in a lot of things, and that's kind of what I look for, because it seems to be the more common. Soy, I don't like messing with soy because it's of what they say about soy. If you read that read up on that. Whey, I don't really mess with whey because I think that isn't that like a milk derivative or something. But I think whey might be okay, a little bit more okay. But I don't typically like do protein powder like that where I go and get those and then I look for all the plant-based everything. So I'll bring it on my next live or something. I'll show you guys, or I'll post it on Facebook. Yeah, I'll post it. The one that I get, but that, bananas, and then like stir fries. You want to eat healthy? Shake in the morning, salad, something healthy, whatever for lunch, or a sandwich. You know what I mean? If you're just still used to things or whatever. And then like a stir fry for dinner, or another smoothie. Like I'll do sometimes. Like if I got a really busy day and I get home, don't have too much time, I'll do another shake. And then try to cut it off by 7-8 o'clock, which I don't always do, but, and then stir fries, because stir fries are easy. Just get zucchini, get some squash, whatever, get some, whatever, broccoli, carrots, just chop it up real quick, some potatoes, you could in the stir, not in a stir fry, but, it's like, you could just, with veggies, man, you can really make like anything. It's really easy, cook some beans, doesn't take long. So really just, and the point of it is to clean your body out. You got to get it past that point where like they say, we eat the nastiest stuff, but then we're just like, oh yes, delicious, whereas nobody's ever gotten sick from eating too much, nobody's, you know what I mean? Like, that's how it's kind of like, they're defending something, like got beef, and it's like, well, listen, no one's ever gone to the hospital for a broccoli overdose, you know what I'm saying? But guys are definitely going for eating too much red meat and colon and whatever, it's like that wasn't from the broccoli, and then that's what happens. So we say, oh, well, when you start eating vegetables, it takes a long time to digest. Well, yeah, because our body's not doing we have not been eating the right stuff for a long time. I mean, be honest with yourself, right? When's the last time you was at McDonald's last week? You know what I mean? It's like, and again, it's not a big deal. It's fine. It's your life. Eat what you want. It's okay, right? But that grumpy day is gonna come. It's gonna be because of what you ate. I hate to say it. It's gonna be because of that hunk of meat still lodged in there that you didn't digest. If you eat meat 4 times as long to digest, so you better be working out, eating meat. And that's why all the meat eaters and the guys working out, they do all that. Oh no. What's happening to my video? Oh my God, will you stop calling me? Can you guys still see me on the video? Hold on. Hey, I'm back. Sorry, I got a call. I should call him back. I've missed a couple calls with her, so I got to call back my friend. I don't know, just some info on the food there, Light is light. Light is light. Physical density, Earth. We're trying to ascend. Right? How far do you want to go? Means higher up you go, the less physical density you need. Because then they eat energy. Right? Eat energy. Right? You're non-physical. Well, it doesn't feel good. I'm going to go fly over here. That it's not the same as eating. And anything that's heavy and slow and low anchors you down. You can't fly no more. So we're not gonna want it. But that's the whole thing of the process. Want it when you want it, and don't. But make sure your body's telling you. Don't want it because you think you want it. We've all done that. I mean, I've we walk past the place. Yo. And then, 5 minutes later, you're down the street and you're not that hungry anymore or something. Or like, you smelled them French fries or something. You smelled that steak cooking at the steakhouse. And you're like, yo, I need a steak. You don't need a steak. You want a steak. Wants and needs. We got to do a video on that. Talk about that. But you see how it's like, I always notice in my videos, everything just overlaps. It all comes together. That's why I'm doing my videos. because I always feel like I title it something, but then it's like it's never. But it is no, because it's consciousness levels. It's good. It's good. All right, it's good. It's good. But it is all connected, right? All right, guys, I gotta go. Like hour and 20. Yikes. Lots to do today. I gotta be live on something later tomorrow. Tonight at 5. We're going live. Crypto stuff, guys. So yeah, check us out. Me and Starseed, we got a crypto thing going on. Just dropping knowledge. That's all I'm doing. Like I got all this crypto like information, and you guys do what you want with it. But yeah, just dumping that out for everybody because we're changing. The world's changing. All right, that's it on comments. Yep, cool. All right, y'all. Adios, peace, and hair grease. Thanks for stopping by. Love you guys. And I'll see you next time. For sure.